What's going on YouTube?
Washington.
This is Britt for here once again. Hey, what's going on YouTube? This is your boy Jamar84 here once again, and we are here to review the final part 3 of Bad Girls Club Season 12 Reunion. I felt like I got closure for the season, yeah. I felt like the reunion answered a lot of questions, and plus, if you're not subscribed to A Connection TV, my B-fam over at Wesley, over at A Connection TV, who does the separate interviews with a lot of the bad girls from previous seasons and this season as well. I think for the season 12, he's had interviews. He has 2 interviews now with Red. There's a new one that's 2 hours long, so I know that has some tea. There's a new one with Red. There's a new one with Blue that I recently just watched. They gave a lot of insight. He's had interviews with Britt, live interview with Jada. Who else? He had an interview with Alex. I think the only people that he hasn't interviewed yet from the season is Lauren, Asia. If he plans on doing one with Delilah or Raisha. He even did one with Lindsay. Lindsay was the first one. We saw Lindsay's interview before the season started. So, but that's neither here nor there. But if you guys are interested in getting more details about what happened in the house, make sure you go subscribe over to that channel. But for the part 3 of this here reunion, left off with Jada and Britt's fight, or little squabble, whatever you want to call it. And I guess they don't really be connecting a lot of their punches, because it seems like Jada's always looks fine. She never really looks roughed up for real. And all the fights she's gotten into, all the hits that we've seen that did connect, she just still never seems to come out looking like anything happened. So what else? Let's just move on ahead to when freaking Delilah comes out. Delilah looked like she was on some motherfucking Xanax. She looked like she was doped. When she was she walked up, she was like, "Pretty bitches." And then it's like, "What's wrong with you, Delilah?" She's like, "I ain't took a nap." Delilah was something. He was something crazy. So they asked Delilah about, what happened with Britt and, what her whole thing was in the house. And she was trying to say, "Oh, I wasn't mean. I just came into the house like, hey, you guys, my name is Delilah, and this, that, and the 4. Lo was like, "No, bitch. You came up in there reading every single bitch in that house. You would say you're ugly, you're ratchet, you're ghetto." And she was like, "All you girls are ugly. Just coming in just ruthless." And everybody just looking at you like, "For real, bitch?" And she came in looking like a school teacher, or like somebody said Melly from Scandal. Well, no, that's Laura looks like Melly from Scandal. But that's neither here nor there. If you watch the interview, I peeped this. I noticed this because I watched the interview with Blue on Wesley's channel, when he said that Delilah was saying that she wanted to give Britt a hug. Now, when Delilah got up, she extended her arms out, but as she approached Britt, I didn't realize this up front. It didn't register in my brain, but when she got up, close to Britt, you see her hand went from this to this. And she looked like she was like, "Am I gonna do it? Am I gonna do it? Okay, I'm gonna do it." Bow! And then what I wanted to say was, if I watched Blue's interview, and what Blue said over at Wesley's channel is that before, when she was talking about she was gonna give her a hug, she said she was talking to Asia and said, I'm a fighter. So if you watch that reunion part, right before she got up, she says something to Asia. You can't hear it or make it out, but then they cut to, to Britt, so you couldn't see. And apparently, Asia and Delilah was talking about just punching out Britt whenever she said she's going to try to give her a hug. And Delilah, girl, no. Girl, I mean, I guess you want to have some kind of revenge for that shit that Britt did to you, but it just was in bad taste for some reason. It was fun. It was interesting to watch. I said one thing about Delilah. Delilah is interesting to watch. She brought a level of comedy to the show that was needed. Because the level of pettiness on that shit was just over the damn top. But let's see. Yeah, watch those interviews, y'all. There's just a lot of tea. Let's see where we left off at. So Delilah tried to hit Britt, and after that whole shit, it didn't even look like they looked like they was fucking windmilling. Delilah looked like she was going in doing one of these, and they just carried her out, and Delilah was done for the damn reunion. And she didn't even look like they even tried to style her. Like, Delilah hasn't looked done up the whole time we've seen her. Like, she came in with the school teacher look, first of all. Then she got beat up, and then went to the club still in the same school teacher outfit. Then she comes up on the reunion looking just bland. I'm like, girl, is nobody styling you right, or are you styling yourself and you just say, I want the plain Jane look, or what's the tea? I'm glad your personality is, what stood out, because, woo, your fashion. Moving right along, Jada comes back out, because, Jada was going back in the room saying she was about to leave, this, that, and the fourth, after the whole Diamond / Asia / Blue / Lauren debacle. So she comes back out and reads Britt for filth, because they was trying to ask her, why do you think Britt had a problem with you? And Britt just kept sticking to this, I just don't like her. Is it so wrong for me just not to like somebody? And this is what Jada said. You needed to fight me now because you needed to feel relevant, because you needed to prove something about yourself, because you didn't fight me in the house. For whatever reason, you decided that you didn't want to fight me in the house, so you had to come and fight me here, because you needed to prove yourself, like that you were an actual bad girl. When in reality, we know that Britt was just looking for attention. Britt was just the attention whore of the season. She was one of the attention whores of the season, because Red, child. Yeah, so it's like whenever there was something going on, she would jump into something just so she could feel a part of something. At least just look. You should call it editing, bitch, but you said what you said on camera. You can't. People can only edit what you give them. She would follow Red wherever she went, and she was part of the Fantastic Four, and it just kind of made Britt invisible. Honestly, it didn't really make Britt seem like an individual. Like, I didn't know anything. I felt like we were halfway through the season, and I didn't really know anything about Britt other than the fact that she didn't like Jada. And even then, that didn't have any real, like, substance to it. So, yeah, I feel like Britt just felt like she needed to come up on the stage and just act a damn monkey to a fool, because she didn't prove it. She didn't do what she said she wanted to do so badly during that whole season, so she had to do it in the goddamn reunion. And Jada was like, bitch, you're trying to use me for relevancy, bitch. Without your beef, supposed, with me, who are you, girl? So that's pretty much what Jada said. And she was right. She was right. I had to agree with her 100%. Next thing we got was Red comes out. And everybody talks about her being an actress, and Lo and Blue finally say what they were saying in the confessionals to Red's face, saying, well, why didn't, if you felt like you was, Red was saying, if you felt like I was an actress, why didn't you come to me? Why didn't you come to me? And Lo and Blue's whole argument was, you're an actress. We felt like if we come to you and tell you about something or whatever the issue was, you were going to act as if nothing was wrong, or you're going to put on some type of facade like, oh, this is me trying to work on something. Like, it wasn't going to be the real you. Like, Blue didn't want to do it in the house because she didn't know if you were going to act, the real you while the cameras were there. So she approached you outside of the house and, figured out who you were for real. So I understood that, and I could kind of see how. Oh, this what it was. Blue's interview on Wesley's channel said that she actually tried out for Bad Girls Club twice. I think she tried out for like season. What season was going on in 2011? 10? No, 10 was 13. 8? Maybe it was 8. It was a long time ago. That's all I can say. So maybe it was like 8 or 9 that she tried out for and she didn't make it. And I saw her audition tape. Red was just, well, Alyssa at the time. I don't even think she was going. Was she going by Red at the time? I don't remember. But I saw the video, and it was in black and white. She was like, I want to help the children. I want to help the young girls. I want to be on this show to inspire. I want to do this, that, and for. She was just this, holier than thou. Now, I don't know, and if that's the real her, if she was trying to put on an act, then hell, we don't know who Red is for real, for real. But we saw that audition tape for whatever season that was, 8, 9 or something, and then we see the audition tape for season 12, totally different bitch. So Blue was saying that, okay, she didn't get onto the show with this facade. So she's like, okay, let me switch this shit up. Let me be this character. Let me be this bitch so that I can get on the motherfucking show. Boy. Y'all make sure y'all go check that out. If y'all look up I think Red old audition tape or something like that, it'll be whatever the one that comes up in black and white. And y'all can kind of do your own compare and contrast, because her other season 12 audition tape is up there too. Let's see, where are we at? Laura comes out, the life coach, and everybody's proud to say that what she did for the season and for the girls and whatnot. And I did chuckle to myself when, Tanisha asked her, like, what do you think about the girls? She's like, oh, I love them. And then Red's over in the corner like, bitch, you don't even know us for real. I was like, Red just gonna give Laura give her grief just the whole time, just until the very bitter end. But I just thought that was kind of funny. And she says her experience with the girls, and they show all the clips and stuff about what happened with each, individual girl, how they made their breakthrough and things of this nature. I was like, oh, okay, that's cute. Alex starts crying because Asia started talking about how she was able to, reestablish the relationship with her father, and how her family now can come together, sit, talk, do whatever. And, Alex started to cry, and, people said, it was asking her, Alex, why are you crying? She's like, oh, I felt like, me and Asia, well, I know Asia's been through a lot with her father, and, it makes me happy to see what she's going through, and, like, also, since I've got out the house, my father hasn't spoken to me. He didn't say Merry Christmas. He didn't do this. He didn't do that. And, I was like, damn, that is kind of fucked up. And I know Alex's father is African-American and her mother is white. And it kind of makes me look bad. It kind of makes me feel bad like that. It's just another statistic of African-American fathers abandoning their children, especially their daughters. When men abandon their daughters, they're going to seek that male attention in all the wrong places. So those are the people who increase the chances of the daughters becoming, loose prostitutes, just becoming the women I'm sure that their fathers wouldn't want them to be. So it's very important that you stay in your daughters' lives. And one thing that Laura did say that I think was very important is Alex was saying about all the different things about her father, and then she said, it's okay, I know who loves me, it is what it is, and I'm good. And Laura said something that was actually very important. She said, you don't have to be good with the things that you're not okay with. And a lot of times we try to put on this facade like, we're just tough, we can handle anything, and even though things that bother us, we're good, it doesn't bother us anymore, what have you. And she says that you don't have to be okay with those things. If you want a situation to be better, if you're not okay with something that someone did or something, or there's an issue that's persisting in your life, you should be able to deal with it, and you shouldn't just have to be good with it. You don't have to be, good with something that you're not okay with. And I thought that was very important, because a lot of times, like I said, we push stuff under the rug, we just dismiss stuff, we don't want to face a lot of the situations that are hurtful or run deep within our psyche that, probably cause a lot of issues. But we don't have to be good with it. We should be able to confront that head on. I thought that was really cool that she said that. And the last thing that I'm going to talk about for this episode is, Blue's mother and, her saying that the whole thing with Blue and her other daughter is a shocker and all this other stuff. And I'll just put it like this. When your child decides to finally come out to you as parents, how you react in that moment will determine how the relationship will continue from that point on. If you tell your child, or if they tell you, Mom, Dad, I'm gay, and the first word, and if you give them some sort of reaction of, resistance, or you say it's a shocker, or you give them some sort of negative energy, then more often than not, they're going to be withheld with you. They're not going to be open to you. They're not going to share a lot of things with you that's going on with them, because they're going to feel like, well, they're going to judge me. I don't want them to feel disappointed in me. I don't want them to look at me any differently. However, if you say, okay, I understand this, even if you may not agree with it, I feel like it's okay for parents to say, I may not agree with this. This isn't what I would want for you. But if this is what you want, this is what's going to make you happy, then I'm here to support you. That, to hear a parent say that, because a lot of parents may not know that before that moment, your child has been going through an enormous amount of mental stress, trying to build up to that moment, because it takes a lot of courage, because cultural differences, religious differences, many factors can determine that. And so they've dealt with this and battled with this internally for years. So for them to reveal themselves and put themselves at that level of vulnerability to you, it took a lot. It took a lot of courage. And when you kind of push them down or make them feel less than in that moment, it has the potential to ruin the relationship, because it's going to be closed off. They're not going to want to share anything with you. They're not going to, tell you about who they may be dating, and who they may be dating may not be good for them, and they don't have their parents to call and talk to. Like, I just feel like it's so important, and I just want to make sure that that's out there. But Blue's mom, even though she did say it was a shocker and she was disappointed, I don't like it when parents find out that their children are gay and they're worried about grandchildren. That always bothers me, because it's not like it's impossible. It's not like they can't have it. They just won't have it with the person that they're probably going to be life partners with. Because if your son is gay, there's surrogate mothers, and if your daughter is a lesbian, there's artificial insemination. So it can happen. It just won't happen with whoever they're with. So because I know I want to be a parent one day, and still, it's nothing going to stop me. So I just feel like when they mention that, oh, it's going to be, do I'm ever going to get grandchildren, it makes me feel like you're more concerned. You're trying to make this more about you than it is about, me expressing to you how what's been going on with me. It just feels like you're trying to turn it around and make it all about you. And that's the thing I never really liked. But that was, did I miss anything from this reunion? No, I think I covered everything. If there's anything else I want me to talk about, I could talk about it in the comments with y'all. But I'm ready for this Redemption All-Star season. It looks like it's going to be good. And a lot of the girls, because I did a video on the cast not too long ago. A lot of those girls, a good percentage, I do not like and did not like in their season. Or I kind of went back and forth. Like Camila, I loved in her season, but I didn't like her in All-Star Battle. Rocky, I loved in her season and All-Star Battle, but she did some shady shit via Twitter between her and I'm not looking through those rose-colored glasses of Rocky no more. Judy was okay. Natalie, I'm neutral with Natalie. I don't know how I really feel about Natalie, to be honest with you. Julie, I hated. And I didn't really watch All-Star Season 1 to really watch her to see if she really changed. And for what I gathered, she didn't. And, but from what I've seen, just in the clips, I think that might change. I think this redemption season might make me look at some of these people that I hated in this season differently. And even those of you who watch me, y'all know I hate, of all the people on this show, I hate the Victor twins. The Victor twins are probably the people who I despise in this entire Bad Girls franchise the most. And here she is again. We have Danny on the scene. And if y'all saw the preview, she said that, you know, she was pregnant, but she lost the baby. And it was like, okay, I don't like you, bitch, but I'm not going to sit here and down you over, you know, you having a miscarriage for your baby. I'm not going to do that. So maybe I'll grow a soft spot. Maybe. Grow a soft spot for these girls that I didn't like. Whew. I'm ready, though. October 7th, y'all. It's going down. Whew. This gonna be, this fall, there's gonna be so many shows on this channel, y'all. I have not been able to be consistent with my Braxton Family Values. But I'm gonna try to do American Horror Story, Scandal's coming back, The Walking Dead's coming back, and Bad Girls Club Redemption's coming back. So I'm gonna be, whew. And then I gotta keep my personal life going. Work with me, y'all. I'm trying. I really am. But thank you guys so much for watching this video. If this is the first time you're seeing it, I hope that you decide to subscribe. We have many, many things coming in the works for you in the next coming months. So yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. And thank you so much for liking and subscribing. Bye-bye.
Like, share, subscribe.
Washington.